Hey guys, Don here. Welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. I'm going to go over the $1 Million Minute. Actually, this is going to be my one-page report for February 2025. This is something I did it last month. A few people kind of said they enjoyed it, so I'm going to keep doing it until anyone kind of changed their mind. So what this is, I like to do a one-page report each month. Now, if you get my emails, so the way you get my emails is you go to anything on podiatrypracticemastery.com. You download any of my things there, and you'll start to get these emails. And I send it out, but I'm going to do a kind of a verbal or a podcast version of it. So this is a report of what I was pursuing in January of 2025, my progress, and things like that. So my main focus in January was focusing on our transition from Athena to ModMed. And maybe I should have made a different focus because we're really not moving until April. And so I'm still kind of waiting for a moving day. There's not much I can do right now, but this is kind of on the horizon of how we're switching from Athena over to ModMed. And the main reason is financial. I really like Athena. I was one of their mavens, or like helping talk other people about talk up the system. I think it's a great system. It just got to be a little expensive when we talk about all of our revenue. Okay. Another focus is on our nail tech, Marjorie. She's helping all four doctors, actually. I think she's only helping 3 of us. On our routine days, we each have a half day per week that we do routine, and they're every 10 minutes, and she's coming in and doing the nail care portion, and then we're kind of doing less and less. So it's getting a little boring, but we're trying to get her up to speed so then we can open a parallel schedule. And then the last thing that kind of is going on for me in January, the focus was getting my dad settled and fixing up some of his accounts and finding him a PCP. And so the results were here in December. Billings were down a little bit. So I always say if you're trying to get to the $1 million mark, the desire would be $80,000 per month in production. So I was at $79,000, okay, for the month, okay. And for the practice, we did for December it was $298. Okay, so we did well for December. These are records from December. Okay, and each individual doctor does their own little thing. Okay, for mine was 79 for December, 8 orthotics, and then 16 Shockwave. What's working? I did this practice mastery audit. So there was a gentleman named Craig. He did it, and I was able to send him the results from this audit. I think the audit has some legs to it, meaning I think it's something that could help other practices. So if you're interested in doing this audit, you go to podiatrypracticemastery.com/audit, AUDIT, and you can fill it in. It asks some probing questions of how many patients you see and some things like that. And then based on those results, I'll do a podcast as I've done in the past. I also did a marketing consultation. I have a friend, Al. He does marketing, and I wanted some feedback on my newsletter because I feel like we all just kind of keep doing and don't get any feedback. And the one area that he recommended fixing was my newsletter is a little bit too much about podiatry and a little too little about me and fun stuff. So he recommended 80% fun stuff and only 20% podiatry. So I'm going to try to kind of switch that around. Another thing that I decided to do is I want to get even better at my skills, and this is something I've been learning with Alex Harmozy. He's a guy that I like to listen to in terms of a podcast. He has a podcast called The Game, and he talks a lot about things that are pertinent to us for small business owners, and he recommended building up your skills. So one of the skills I want to build up was with orthotics and Shockwave, and I had to go to the yearly Shockwave course, but I'm going to go out and have an actual personal coach for Shockwave. So I'm paying him $500 a month, or $500 per session, and it'll be for 6 sessions. So it'll be about $3,000, and I think that will, even if anything, it'll just kind of get me closer to the goal of doing more Shockwave and being more confident with Shockwave, even though I already do a lot of it. Another thing that I'm doing is I found a coach for orthotics. This isn't on my sheet that I wrote out, but I found someone, and I've been looking for someone for this would be like a sales coach, so someone that can kind of help me improve how I explain this to patients and improve that way. I really haven't found any great things about improving my ability and kind of number of orthotics. I did have one person reach out to me that suggested they could coach me. That's great. I would love to get coached, and I'm always looking to get better. I also found a psychologist for my dad, and I found a PCP for my dad. So I'm switching off all of his utilities and switch his mailing address. And I tell you, this has been kind of a big issue of getting used to, both for me and my family and things like that. So that's a lot of my focus and extra energy is going into that, and I find it's not going into other things. Our nail tech is doing well. She has her own schedule that's starting, and then we are going to start adding a parallel schedule for ourselves. And then also I'm getting better at offering 6 Shockwave sessions to everyone, even though I'm not maybe scheduling all 6. I'm scheduling 3, and then at the end of the 3, then I'll schedule another 3. Just because I think 6 is a lot of booking for my staff on the way out. So that's what's working. What's not working? My Google profile got shut off December 6th, and I didn't even know about it. So I didn't notice it for, I don't know, about a month and a half after, about 6 weeks after. So I've been noticing it's a little bit lighter, and it could be from that, or it could be just because January and February in New England's a little bit slower. So I did turn on the Google local business listings that we have. And those are a little bit, in my opinion, they're a little bit expensive. They're about $34 per phone call, and they would assume that each phone call is an appointment. I kind of disagree with that. I don't think each one is an appointment, but they say they're making the phone calls here. I also realized Swell was turned off. Swell is where we do our online reviews, so it wasn't working. So once again, that also could affect things. So areas to improve, I'm trying to fix these profiles. I got some help from Jim from Podiatry Growth, and he kind of walked me through a little bit, kind of helped me get off the edge where I was kind of stressed out about not having our Google listings. We still have 2 listings. So the way it works with Google is we have a listing for our offices, so one in Worcester and one in Westboro, and then each individual doctor. So we have 4 doctors, and each doctor has 8 listings. So we have 4 in Westboro and 4 in Worcester, and all of them except the Worcester one and mine were shut off and suspended, and I'm not sure why. So I don't know if anyone's had that happen to you, but because of that, I switched to the Google local listings. And so I guess my focus in February 2025 will be, I'm going through the exercises in a book called $1 Million Leads, and trying to keep the focus on plantar fasciitis and seeing what I can do to give a great experience for patients, kind of a wow experience for them. And I'm also trying to figure out how to set up a web page for second opinions, because I feel like a lot of my patients, in pretty much anything, whenever they come to me as a second opinion, I think it's a lot easier than the first opinion. So trying to have a focus for our office of getting second opinions for plantar fasciitis, for nail fungus, for anything like that, I think it's a good thing. So that is the one-page report. If you have your own, I would recommend you write one. I think it's a good thing to have. Keeps you focused. So you can see the format if you go and subscribe to my emails, or just send me an email, don@podiatrypracticemastery.com. You look at kind of what are your metrics, what's working, what's not working, and what you can do to improve, and then any action steps for the following month. So I'll do another one of these. And what I do is on the back side of it is I put these little categories so I know what to write about for the following month. Okay, hope this was beneficial, and we'll talk to you next time.